Okay guys, welcome. Today we're gonna do some weird stuff because I got a comment from 4 recently and he talked about that he uses decals for performance reasons. And if you don't know what decals are, I googled it quickly. Google says decals are an effective way to add isolated details to a model without having to incorporate it directly onto the main model or main texture map. Decals, you can Google it. Today's video, however, is not about decals. Today's video is something so we're gonna texture paint stuff on objects. That's what I would like to do, and this is not a tutorial. It's just I figured I learned about that while I was researching the decals, and so I stumbled across a video which I will link. It's a video about how to texture paint. So some guy made a tutorial video, explained it very well how to do it, so you don't have to watch this thing here. I just share what I've learned today or the last couple of days, and I think, well, today actually I got the control over it, and so I thought, okay, I want to make a video about that. And again, thank you for, because of you I stumbled across those things. First of all, I never heard of decals. I first thought they are called details, and I was thinking details, but you know, that's just my English. And then I thought, no, okay, decals, which seem to be an add-on for Blender. And when it comes to add-ons, it's just my personal taste. I like to deal with third-party add-ons later. First, I would like to see what you can do with Blender itself, and Blender also has some add-ons. It's a weird thing, but this is just my personal approach. But it's good to know about this stuff because, well, you know, I can only learn, so I'm very happy about it, and it brought me to this. This is just so awesome. I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'm gonna show you simply. So I prepared here a little bit some cubes. I was testing stuff. I also painted the Totorono, but those were just weird testing things. But you can really have the control with texture painting. So that's the good thing about it. Yeah, anyway, I recorded already a pretty good video, and then I realized there was no mouse, and so I had to do this again. Anyway, so I'm not sure what I said and what I didn't anymore. Let me just show you what I mean. I'm just gonna prepare. I prepared this already. So here's a painting of mine, and earlier when I started to learn GIMP, and what I basically just did is I painted it on top of this, and we can actually make it a little bit differently, or we can, you know, so like this I learned today. So look at that. We're gonna go into the shading menu here, and isn't that not cool? It's not the same. I think the principles are kind of similar. What I've learned about the decals, again, this is not decals. This is not a decal video. Decals are different. But this is the texture paint thing, I believe, or something like that. So we could basically just paint every... yeah, you know what? Let me create a new scene, because it's easier to show it in an easy way what I've learned. Okay, in a clean environment. I'm excited. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, guys. So first of all, I have to slow down because I do not know. Sometimes when you figure out new stuff, I just wanna tell what I learned and talk how cool it is. But you know, it's a bit childish. Anyway, so we have a new scene. I'm gonna show you how to approach this kind of thing in an easy way. So I tried to basically just do what a guy in the video did. Again, if I think of, you know, and I still have the video somewhere in the history, I will link it in the video description, but it's just an awesome thing. So first of all, let me just close those stuff. I don't really need that. UV editing, no, we need only a few windows here. Rendering, no. Did I just close it like that? Oh yeah, okay. I don't have to. Okay, so we have layout, why not? Texture paint and shading. Shading I just like because there is no grid, you know. This is why I prefer that here. We're gonna hide the camera. And then we're gonna focus on a little cube here, so we identify this as a cube. Oh, look at that, the grid is being anyway. So, and right now, the first step is we're gonna go into the edit mode, and we selected all those faces. Let's go into the face mode, right click, very important, you have to be in the face mode to do that. Right click and then say UAV unwrap faces, and we're gonna go to cube smart UV project, but you can experiment with different options. Always experiment with that. Scale due to the boundary. It's I'm not gonna explain that. We're just gonna do it like that. Okay, so let's go into the texture paint, and so we unwrapped it. I believe that's what we say it. We unwrapped our cube, and now the guy in the video made a new window and said we don't have to do it, but I think it makes sense, so I'm gonna do the same thing as the guy did. The guy in the internet did it. And we choose yeah, what do we choose? Shader editor. Yeah, here we go. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, I like that. Look at that, so awesome. Okay, so, and he also said furthermore, if there is no texture, then it's always purple. I mean, we know that it's one of the basics, but I will tell you something. Today was in the first video, which I'm not going to show because there was no mouse visible. I realized what is actually, I always, you know, to me texture and material for some reason was always kind of the same thing to me. But now, I mean, I knew it was different, but I couldn't really, you know, point out what's the difference. And I still can, but it makes more sense why this is a material, but it's not a texture. So it always kind of confused me, but I ignored it. But now I understand it a little bit better, the difference between texture and material. Okay, anyway, so we have a new material, but we have no texture. It's important. So we could change the color of the material, but this would not be a texture. Okay, so we did it. We have a new material. You can see that in here. Okay, and now we're gonna go into this menu. No, this one here. And now it's the time where we give the cube a new material, which will be connected to the texture. Sorry, we give it a new texture. And the texture will be connected to the new material we just gave this object, something like that. Okay, it's also explaining practice video as well. So we're gonna press the plus button and we say basic color, and now we have, this would be our basic texture. We would like to increase the resolution. An easy way to do it is always to just type in, I think that's X. In German it's mal, it's like, we say 2 times 1024, like in this way, and say enter, or, you know, return. And the same thing here, 2 times like that. We don't need alpha. I'm not going to explain why, but no, I'm not explaining why. It's just what the guy in the video said. It carries more information, means our material or texture file will just be bigger. About the 32-bit, I don't know if we need that or not. I have no idea. I turn it on because I think it might be good. I have no idea why I do this, so you might consider that. Okay, we said okay, and now we have, you can see, this is our object, and it has a new material which is represented here. This is our new material, right? And furthermore, we have a texture, but on the texture that nothing is made is on the texture. And so this is material based color. Okay, we want to see it in here, so I would like to choose it in here. So this is our material. So it has the same name, material. I think so. Oh, this one here, it carries this name here. I see. Okay, still confusing, but we can do it. And now we could technically just paint on this. That's cool, right? but or using a different color, you can just right click and then choose some different, you know, colors if you want. But what we're gonna do is we are going into this menu, texture menu, and we say new, and then we have image or movie, which is fine. We just need to choose a new image, and whatever image you choose, it doesn't matter which one. You can either paint something in GIMP or Photoshop, or you can use just a cell phone picture. You know, it doesn't matter what you use. You can use any kind of picture. I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna do this offline, and then we're gonna paint it on the cube. So hold on. So obviously we start with, you know, this is my channel guy, and he represents my art skills, so that's good. And I like this guy, look at him. And when we paint, now you can see, oh, we paint this guy. I didn't even realize that I changed the color somehow. If this happens, you can just right click on that and say reset the default. And now we're gonna paint in the, you can see, you can even change the color of the painting if you want. So you can see we can change the size of it. And then you see that the guy, depending on which size you've chosen, is appearing, not approaching, appearing. Okay, just filled in. This is, you should know those stuff, right? This is the basic, you know, like GIMP, Photoshop, or Paint tools, those stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so this is one way to go with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think I liked. There's a weird thing which I really like. So if you go into, let's just turn this on. You don't have to do those stuff if you don't want to. I just like that. We have to go into this menu and then scroll down. The guy in the video said texture, very important. Click on texture, not on texture mask, on texture. And then you see the guy again. And I played around with some options, and I stumbled across this option, which is named Stencil. Don't know what that means. First I thought it's Sentinel. Do you remember Sentinel? I think there was a series like the Sentinel. I don't know. Anyway, it's not Sentinel, it's Stencil, whatever this means. Basically, this is now projecting our image. You know, this is a PNG file, and it doesn't have a background color, but it doesn't matter, whatever you prefer. You know, if I paint it now, let's, from this perspective, you can see, if you go into a shading menu, you can see nothing because I have to change this too. See, we exactly projected this guy, where, this is how to explain that. It projects the thing exactly how you view it. So right now we're projecting it like that. If you switch the viewpoint a little bit, and we're gonna go like that, and we paint it again, that's a little bit slow, but it works still. It projects our cube exact, look at that. You know, I mean, right now it looks weird, but sometimes you might like that, you know, so that's great. But today we want to have the control over it. First we want to learn how to control things. Later on we can do whatever we want, right? So that's always a good thing to do. So, and I thought, okay, this is awesome. And I struggled a little bit with controlling that. I wanted to fly around. I have like a shortcut for flying around with my camera. I cannot do it in here because it blocks that. So I try to fly around in this view, and then, you know, because I found I didn't know how to change this guy, how to, you know, move him around or the size of it. But it's this is I figured out today by just try and error it. And so when we focus on the cube again, we can actually drag this guy. Right click. But even should I have to? No, you don't have to right click this guy. You just have to press right click in this window. But you have to, you know, mapping in this window under texture. Mapping has to be to stencil, so that you see this guy. And now we can drag this guy here around. So which means we can basically focus with the numpad 7 key on our cube, you know, like being in a good position. And then we're gonna drag this guy somewhere. What am I doing? I I mean, just choose a side, you know, and now we can paint this guy here exactly where we want him to be, right? So that's good. And if we want to change the size, I thought F would be the thing, but F doesn't work. It just changes the brush size itself. But there is a way to do that. Let me just... this good? No. Oh boy, I want to get the... let's do it like that way. Okay. So if you want to change the projection size of it, not the pencil, but the projection size of it, you have to press the Shift key, and then nothing happens. Shift key and the right click, I believe. Yeah, you have to press down Shift key, and then with the and then right mouse button, and then you can make it bigger or smaller. Oh, what the heck did I do? So, and that basically solves the problem, because I really struggled today. I was thinking, how the heck do I control that? Because it gives you so many, you know, now you can really position this guy in such a nice way, you know. Look at this guy. He's perfectly center. No, not center, but he's exactly where I want him to be. And you can even rotate him here. You can change, also, you can change this size here too, but for some reason it's just weird. Or, I mean, you think of I did this stuff today, so I don't really know what I'm doing right now here, no? With those stuff. Anyway, let's make, what was it, 0? I hope so. No, that's just default. Right click and set things to default is always good. Okay, so that's nice. Let me just fill the whole cube again with a color. I'm gonna show you the next thing I understood is, okay, if I can do that, it's also important to say, we're gonna do this together, and then we're gonna save this thing here. You have to save, this is a new texture. You have to save this file somewhere on your PC or wherever you save things. Otherwise it's gonna be gone, you know, so keep that in mind. But what we can do is, let's just say we want to have I want to have my Blender guy on this side here. Where is my thing? It's gone. Also, I have to choose the pencil here again. Oh no, what have I done? No, I think I know what's going on. I think Blender is confused because I'm recording with my PC. No, but it's my system right now. I believe the problem is, yeah, we have to activate this guy. Okay, I think it has to do with my system right now, but everything is fine. Okay, so we're gonna drag this guy, making him bigger. Shift left shift key. I mean, there's only one shift, right? Maybe not. Okay, left shift key, whatever, and then you can right click it and then, you know, change the size of it. We're gonna position him like this. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then we're gonna paint him. You know, we can just leave it like that, but you can see it's not done yet. So if you just wanna, you can just increase the size of the pencil thing. So this guy is here, and let's say we would like to have a different picture here. So we're gonna go into this menu and we're gonna just choose a different picture. I'm gonna do this offline again. Then here you can see my raven. I made this guy the very first time. You can check out my stuff on I learned also GIMP Photoshop over the years, and I still, you know, learning those stuff. We can just, you know, paint him on here, and he appears, you know, on this side. And now we're gonna choose, but we can also paint him like that, you know. That's the funny thing. See? But I don't wanna. So we have it here, and we're gonna choose another one. But just okay, choosing it again. So here's my warrior. Try to learn those stuff. I think, you know, creating anime, it took me a long time, you know, but I learned anyway. So we have this, and let's use a beautiful picture. I'm sorry, I changed the position and also the picture. So we have now this guy here. It's not a beautiful picture, but it's yeah, a different one. Okay, here we go. So, and now we have like an interesting little cube. There is a space for one. Okay, I'm gonna show you one of the things people liked, at least. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, so this is another one. Again, you can check this on the Twitter of my Twitter account. Not much going on is also on Twitter. I really don't like those stuff, the social media stuff anyways. I'm not really I know. I'm there to just show my stuff. Look at me, and that's about it. I don't care about other stuff. That's why I'm not gonna make it anyways, I guess. But you can check out some of those stuff if you want, but you don't have to. You really don't have to. Okay, and this is basically the way today how I thought, oh, this is an interesting way to just project your stuff onto a surface in a very easy way. I mean, how to do it was clear to me. So what I did, or what I thought I would do earlier, if I wanted to texture paint stuff, I thought I would just you know, save, just create a new scene here. So where is it? UV editing. So you can basically you know, you can export the UV, you know, and then you can open it with a painting program or GIMP Photoshop. And then I thought, this would be the way how I would texture objects only in GIMP Photoshop, by, you know, using the UV as a template, and then later on determine. I thought, how can I describe what I mean? Well, let me just try something. Can I get rid of that and just have a normal pencil? Would that work? I cannot. I couldn't. Oh, that's weird. How do I? Okay. I had to see. I'm still. So the way I thought I would do texturing in general would just determine. Would just be in Photoshop or you know, in a different program. So I thought a good way would be to unwrap the stuff. This is what I was thinking, and then I would just make an arrow. So like this still might be a good thing. Why can I not? Okay, something. That's also weird. Sometimes you cannot, and I haven't figured out what the heck that is. So if I'm exactly in this position, for some reason I cannot paint, but if I go further out, it works. And if I go back in, it doesn't. If I change the perspective a little bit, it works again. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what it is, but it's something, I guess. Anyway, so the way I thought I would approach texturing objects is just now I'm going to use making an arrow. And this arrow would determine later on in GIMP Photoshop, for example, where I have to place my texture, and where is up and down and left and right and stuff. And so I thought this would be a good way to kind of texture your stuff later on. But this is even, yeah, it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. It goes even further. You can actually not just create a texture painting, but also using a bump effect on this stuff. The same approach to this is you can use, you know. So basically we are back in texture painting. Okay, so and now we're gonna go and say, okay, we have a new material, and again we did not save that. If you wanna keep that, you need to just, you know, say image and then save as, you know, image, and then you have access to that again. I think meanwhile Blender asks you before you leave the project that you would like to save that, and people say sometimes turning on this will also save it, but I don't trust it. I'd rather save it manually so that I know for sure it's saved. It just reassures me. So we can actually use a bump effect on this thing too, so we can just paint the whole thing or use an texture paint the bump if you want. So a bump is we can say we would like to have, so this is our material of this object. Yeah, here we have, this is our material in general, and here's our texture, and then bump will appear here somewhere. Say base color bump, And yep, that's okay. And that was weird. Can I undo that? I can delete it, but the thing is still here. Can I get rid of this thing here? What did I do? Is this really okay? Anyway, let me try this again. Bump. Okay, maybe I choose something wrong. Okay, now we choose the other step you can just ignore in between. So I applied a bump node, right? A bump node. You can also just, do this manually, I believe, but this is easier to do because Blender does it for you. Now you have the bump and you have a bump texture. And we can use the same principle. So we go, we are in the bump texture. Is this, no, we have to choose bump. So now we see exactly this thing here. So this is named material bump, and we see material bump in here. And what we could do now is basically, if we, if we paint on that with with a dark color, then you see that, right? This is just, you see the three-dimensional effect, kind of, whatever this is. If you paint it white, then we have it looks like a hill thing. The dark is like a hole, and this is like more like a hill. Anyway, this is basically my explanation for that. But we can actually use a brush in the same way. So we say new, and then I'm gonna choose a material of mine, again offline. Okay, this is one of my created EXR things, which I also watch a video how to make those things. But basically, anyway, let's not go into that. That's my texture I just choose, but this is just a picture, right? Basically speaking, you know. And so we can use the bump effect on here, for example. I can just paint this guy completely on this one here. And if we go into the shading, now look at that. Look at that. How easy you can create your little dirty things dirty things, So we can also do it in here. So we can actually change the size of it, make it smaller, and then I don't see anything in here. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't work. Oh well, sometimes that's what it is. Does it work? Ah, it does. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see because it always projects it on top of this. So now you have like you can say this has to. You can basically just paint your stuff on top of this, but it didn't work. Why? I wonder. Let me just go into this position, changing it to here, and now it works. And so we have given it a little bit of structure if you want. And now I just was playing around, I wonder what happens if I turn this thing off. Okay. Yeah, let's turn this off. And let's pick a color, control now. How do I pick a color again? I forgot. Anyway, let's just see what happens if I... Ah, no, of course. What? No, it doesn't work. I wanted to... Doesn't work. I thought I can... I mean, there's certainly a way to do so. I wanted to still paint on this, but for some reason I cannot do it anymore. I wonder why. I wonder why. I really do wonder why. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I mean, this is why, you need to learn this stuff. But it really doesn't make sense right now. Let me just try here. No, I can manipulate that. So if I can manipulate that, how do I pick the color here? Hmm. That's interesting. I don't know. I wanted basically to just try to paint this away. I mean, I can manipulate that, but I cannot necessarily... Oh, wait a second. Maybe if I change... No paint. I mean, that's so interesting. I don't know why. Huh. Let me do something. Well, let's go back and forth. No, it doesn't work. It does not work. But I have an idea. I have an idea. Let me just get the picture back. Okay. So we got the picture back. Maybe we have to go back into this menu. Enable modes. Interesting. Clone, draw. A draw I would like to do, but not like that. No, I got confused. I'm super confused. But anyway, that's also good to show. Sometimes you're being confused, and what can you do about that? Well, you can just try and error it. I mean, yes, you can also Google, but it takes also a lot of time, and it's not fun Googling stuff. Very boring. Here is my thing. Yeah. Maybe that was the reason we have no color plate. Let's get rid of that again. Color plate. No, I'm getting crazy here. What do I cannot undo things. Can I? Okay, I'm gonna choose this again. No, don't do anything. I thought, okay, I don't know what it is. What we could do later on is maybe... I mean, there's certainly a way. Anyway, let's just do something differently. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't work either. Oh, great. Nothing works anymore. And that's really weird. I can change it in here, but not in there. Oh, I can. I see, I can. I don't know why. What the heck? I could do it, but now I can't. Oh, wait a second. I have to be exactly on this position? No. I was too close with... Okay, the camera thing again. Well, this is a weird thing. I mean, it's certainly me. I think there is always a solution. But I simply was too close with the mouse wheel, you know? I just had to go back a little bit. Can I now maybe paint? I can't paint! I was simply too close to the window. What the heck? Well, okay. How do we pick stuff now? How do I pick a color? I knew how that worked. Okay, let's do it like that. So could I... maybe this one here. No, in order to pick, in order to make this disappear, I thought we have to use the same color. But it doesn't work. Yeah, it's a little bit brighter, and that's the problem. Wait a second. Let's try this. Because I believe... No. Okay, let's try this one here. Pick a color. Yeah. See, when you pick a color, although it's still different, right? Yeah. What the hell is going on? Anyway, let's try this again. This is the weirdest thing in the world. I'm not getting it. So when we pick a color and we just paint the same color on top of it, it's still darker. That's a weird thing. There is a reason why that is. But I cannot tell. How the heck do you pick the same color as this one here? Okay, let's try differently. We're gonna pick this guy. Okay, we have to be, a good way seems to be like that. If you want to do it, we have to be in this menu. Shading, what is that actually called? Anyway, in this thing we have to activate, and then we have to pick the color, but from this position, because the environment influences the color, which makes sense in a weird way. Anyway, so now we can turn this back on, and we can now paint. I mean, the structure here is obviously not a good structure for a bird, but you get the idea, right? And that's what I thought is great. So you can, like in this way, you can give it a bump effect and exactly determine where the bump effect has to be and where not. Give the guy a little bit of structure, right? You know what I mean? And I think that's just great, and I think that's awesome. The decals, how I understood, are even better in terms of. So, like I said, I watched the movies. The movies I watched on YouTube, no, the videos. And the decals you can basically. My understanding is, you, like a sticker, you put it on top of another surface, and you can make decals very high resolution, where the texture itself is being still low resolution. Basically, that's the reason why it saves. It makes it look great, the object, and it saves a lot of performance problems, something like that. But that's just my quick understanding, and it's an interesting topic. Again, I just don't like dealing with third-party stuff. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I believe it's the reason is really, I want to learn to do everything as good as I can with Blender, and when I stumble across to a limitation, then I think it's about time to look into third-party add-ons. Although I understand I'm already using add-ons which are implemented within Blender, but that for some reason feels okay to me. It's just how, in this way, it's more structured. I can. The way of learning, it's to me in this order, it's more appreciated. But it's good to know about stuff. Again, just, you know, you're never hurting me if you give me some tips or some ideas, because you cannot possibly know everything about Blender. There are so many things you can do. Well, this is an interesting thing. You know what? Yeah, let's create another car, huh? Why not? I'm gonna copy this guy. Yeah, I believe, let me just close that, and then see if you close that. Meanwhile, Blender says basically, are you sure you want to close this file? It's not asking me to save this project, it's asking me to save the images, and then you can choose yes to save the images, because they are, otherwise they will be gone. Anyway, so okay, well, should I make a new car? No, we're gonna just play around. I'm gonna create a car, probably offline, listen to music and something, but I would like to play around a little bit with that. Okay, we see us in the other scene again. Now, if you're still here, you see something weird going on. I thought, I also wanted to show you that. It's basically what I just did in the other thing is, I had a little idea. Later on we can create, basically, you know, the older generations, I mean, like my parents, although my parents, it's a bad example anyway, but you can, well, do you know the guys who made like or still do the train modeling thing in you know, some people like to model the real train and rebuild a landscape, and then they let the train just drive through the landscape they created in the hobby room. So we can basically make something similar. This is just, you know, it was just a test. It's a fun thing, and here I attached the camera to a Ferrari or whatever this is. Is Ferrari probably this is not how English speaker talk. It's in German we say Ferrari, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of those fancy cars. I like muscle cars. I like fast cars. At the same time, I have no interest in the real things. Because they're super expensive in a lot of ways, in my opinion. And I'm just not into those stuff. But I like it in terms of in games. I love them. I love those guys. Maybe probably because I cannot afford it. That's what it is. How can I possibly know why that is? If I get super rich and I buy a Ferrari, then I can really tell you if I like it or not. Probably I changed my mind to that. So anyway, let's it was just a test. Let's continue the other thing. So okay, let's do something fun. Yeah, as you can see, this is a Totorono. This is really not a, I mean, a Totorono. Well, you certainly some kind of a car. Okay, let me just check how you are. If I did this already. So we're gonna say, with this fingers, you know, you can play around. It's always good. So I think yeah. What we can basically do is, so here is our projection, and we can now go into this view, and then right click and drag this guy to this position. Maybe we think here we have to consider it's still using the mirror modifier. Can be good, can be bad. If we just want to change this guy here, I think this is a good way to go. Also wonder, how can we, you can change those brushes, right? Here we have stroke. What is space? I don't know what space is. Dots. Make this cursor. I wanted to have like a, you know, I wanted to limit it. I think with masking you can limit stuff, but I have never, the mask option, it doesn't make any sense to me on how to use it. I have no idea. Missing. Anyway, let's ignore that. That's always a good idea. If you don't know about things and you don't care so much, it seems to be just a little bit tedious, well, just ignore it. Then you're not ready for it. Okay. So, ta-da! Oh, look at the Totorono here. This is a nice way to paint your stuff, huh? Okay, let's try something differently. We're gonna pick a color again. Let's see if this works, and then we're gonna, how do I, oh, do I just project that? I got a little bit confused because I think what the heck is going on? How do I, here it is again. And that's interesting. I see, we just changed, okay. So, okay. Interesting, let's do this again. Let me just fill everything with a special color. I wonder, is it possible to use multiple colors? To use multiple textures. No, we have to connect them later on. Okay, I see. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, so let me just, the question is, how do I just paint okay, let's say if you just want to paint stuff. Did I just paint it like? No, I was projecting this thing now. Okay, the question is, so if I projected this guy on top of this, how can I just fill the other things with other colors? I think I have to press the X then. Okay, let's anyway. Doesn't matter. First thing is, let's get rid of this just quickly, and I would like to see if I go back into the, if I reset everything. Let's make everything black. Oh, Totoro. Look at you. Oh boy, I like black. In terms of, I liked, you know, there was, what was the name again? Knight Rider. Yeah, as a kid, you know, obviously Knight Rider was a thing back then. And I think my stepbrother told me, he mentioned something once to me when I was very young, and he said, Lucas, they're gonna repaint the kit, the car of Knight Rider, yellow, and I cried. I cried because I didn't like that idea at all. I thought, how can they do that? Yellow? Are you kidding me? I don't want to have a yellow. Black was just a Knight Rider. But they never did, so I don't know why he came up with. He tried to fool me, I guess. Or maybe they really thought about that. I don't know. Anyway, good. Let's project the thing here again. So, can I do something here? No. There's no thing. Okay, again, I'm gonna do this offline. Okay, those are my old drawings when I again tried. It's not like, I think 2 years ago or something I started to draw something, and it's not the best, guys, sure, but if you keep practicing it, you can get good with everything. But for that I need to practice like game Photoshop or something, or Krita. But I'm much more with Blender right now, and that's okay. So how do I paint this guy now? It doesn't work again. What do I do wrong right now? See, sometimes it doesn't work and you have no idea why. I have really no idea why. I have an idea why. It's because we choose the dark, the car is black, and this is, although we're using the texture paint, I believe, we're still, the color still influences our painting. It's like another layer on top of our thing. This is my understanding. Okay, let's make it bright. Here we go. See, problem solved. Okay. Yeah. See, so little things here in Blender, sometimes you think you got something new and cool, and then yeah, it causes some problem. Ooh, Totoro. So, but the question now is, let's try that. Let's say I would like to let's say, you can see this guy is here. So what I did before, if you're still here, then what I did before is I always made arrows. So if I wanted to, let's say, before I came across this kind of approaching texturing stuff, my idea was to create an arrow here. So just painting an arrow so that I know where the position would be, and then I would open this window here in Game Photoshop, and then I would place my texture exactly on these positions. But this basically, takes, it's awesome. So happy about that. I'm so happy for if you're still there, that you know, brought me to this, that you made me research that. I'm really, really happy. I've seen this thing before, you know, those videos. You stumble sometimes across videos and think, oh, that's cool, but not now. I'm not gonna deal with that now. You just, you know, your mind is not ready for that. But this time I was really, you know, I thought, okay, I'm gonna try. Yeah, sometimes you're just not ready for stuff. This is what I always keep saying. Anyway, okay, let's see this one here. So how can we, okay, let's try something. So either we could just use, what is that? Where's the clone? No, the smear thing. The smear thing to just, because we are still in the mirror mode, we can just, look at me. Look at me. You can just smear it to the, you know, to make it like that. Although it's not really perfect. But it'll do it for now. Oh, we can actually. Oh, it looks like flames, huh? Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. That's what it is. Let's paint a painting on top of the painting and make something weird. Weird is good. Weird is good because if something is weird, it doesn't follow rules usually, or the common rules, and that we like it, I believe, because although it's usually not perfect, but it gives a lot of ideas, and you can make. I mean, right now it's a little bit, you know, stupid, I admit, but sometimes, you know, it gives an idea, and then you can make something perfect good. Not sure if I lie. I thought it looks like flames, but it doesn't. Not so bad actually. Yeah, you see me rolling. So. Yeah, I mean, you get the idea. So, what do you say, Totorono? Totorono. See, you're becoming more badass. Yeah, I think this guy, I wanted to make, my idea was to talk about this, to show you this, and to create a new car. More badass-like. However, it's already almost an hour, and yeah, sadly, you know, I talked about this. If there are no videos for 1 or 2 months, yeah, that's not, you know, I'm not giving up this channel, although there's not much going on, but something is, you know, slowly starting, so that's good. But I simply have no time, or, you know, that's gonna be all. Yeah, that's what it is. But I maybe make something. I have an idea for a Christmas special for my Let's Play channel. I wanted to create a little overlay for a Christmas overlay, but I'm not so sure if I can do it in the end of November, although until December there's, well, we'll see about this. So anyway, if there are no videos, then that's the reason, but whenever I can, I wanna do something. Okay, let's use another picture, shall we? Sure. Okay. How do I do that? Again. What the heck? I confused myself again. I did it. Yeah, I need I need to choose a new picture. Okay, let's do that. Offline. Okay, another one of my best pictures. I mean, you know, if I would keep doing stuff like this, I think I could become quite good. But there are people who are extremely, you know, they are passionate about that with a lot of stuff. And well, again, although it's not too bad, but it took me a long time. Always takes a long time. So let's paint this guy. Oh no, I cannot do it again. Why What's the reason? That's the good thing about that. They might not be so great, but I have a lot of access to my own paintings, right? So I can have a lot of paintings I can just use. Have no need to be worried about copyright or something because they are mine. So for that, it's good enough. That's for sure. So, but how do I paint this guy again? I certainly need more practice about that. What is the reason now? Ah, sure. Yeah, I mean, that is no. What? Why is this here? What the heck did I change then? Let me just pick this again. Okay, so let's see. I cannot do it. Ah, sure. Okay, that confused me. Sure, I thought it's just no. The projection has to be there. Sure, we can. We don't have to do it that way. Like at the beginning, we learned that we can, set this to view plane or something, and then just. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's funny, right? Yeah, we could do it in that way, but I just like the projection. Yeah, the sentinel thing. Like in that way. Also, I have I created those guys with GIMP Photoshop, and I have a lot of alphas of this still, so that would be better actually. I think the problem is I saved some of the pictures I still have on this drive, but the whole projects, I think they are backed up, so I think I'm not having it right now. But basically speaking, it would be better if you cut this out in GIMP Photoshop and just paint without the background. I think so. Although let me see if I have something similar. Although let me just make this bigger. And yeah, I try to make the hands, I spend so much time to make the hands, so if you don't think that's a great, it's also a practice thing, don't take this too seriously. So I like the shadow version, whatever this means, I don't know. And I use Blender, those bubbles made in Blender. And the wolf I remember the wolf in the background, I kind of accidentally, I couldn't do it on purpose. This guy just appeared while I was drawing it. So, okay, let's see. We can make it like that. Oh, wait. Yeah, projecting things is a very intriguing. Oh, I see. A mirror modifier gives us some trouble here. What has happened? What happened here? Yeah, great. Yeah, I see. I wonder why it's so pixely. Maybe it's because this one, if the original is bigger than the other one, it's maybe creating some. Can I do it? Let me just see something. I think that might be better. So. I see. Well. Yeah. Okay, with the mirror mode, that's kind of tricky. But what if I'm making it like that first? Oh. I see. Like this. Okay, let's see how that. Oh, not too bad. Okay, you're getting the idea, right? I mean, still, you think you found a good idea to save some time, and it's very satisfying to the legs here now. It's very satisfying to draw in this way. Oh, that is actually also a good idea. You can just make it bigger and then just use this. Yeah, but we influence other stuff too, so I think I accidentally painted here, but it's okay, it's not too bad. So, our Totorono looks a little bit weirder, which is good. Let's go into the shading again. Totorono. Yeah. So if we just apply the mirror modifier, then we can just have it in the middle. Shall we do that? I mean, the problem is then, if we want to have a mirror face here and there, that's going to be harder. But for showing purposes, I would like to just do it quickly. So let's apply the mirror modifier here, like in this way, and this one has to. I think we have. Let's see if this works, because after we apply the mirror mode, we should actually make this thing here, the unwrap thing again. But if we do it, it will probably change nothing. This is still looking the same, but that's good. No, because yeah. Let me just quickly undo that. Step 3. I'm gonna save here again. I'm not sure if I did. Applying it. I'm just for testing purposes. Maybe we can still just do it like that. I don't think so. I think we'll really have to unwrap that. Yeah. Although the mirror mode, yeah, we have to do it. Let me just do it quickly. And smart. Good. And now we're gonna go into this menu, dragging it to this position. Okay. So, shading. So this is how it would work, you know. And then we can do the whole stuff again. The question really remains how to make everything symmetrical look like. And that's. Let me just play with some ideas. And I did it. I wanted to reload what I just saved, but this is what I was talking about earlier. We did not save the texture, so everything is basically gone. But it's not a problem. It wasn't a great artwork anyway, so it's not really a bad thing. But yeah, let's just do this again. So we're gonna paint this guy because it's kind of satisfying, so that's a good reason to do that. Okay, first I would like to make everything black. It's very easy to do that. So Totorono is black again. And let's also use another painting like this. Okay, let's use this guy for today. For now, I mean. So, and now we're gonna paint this guy here. Where is my texture? Still confused. This is really confusing, guys. It's really, really confusing. Can I adjust this somehow? Texture. Okay. So if you choose between your stuff, you can then basically, you know, it's kind of safety. That's good. We can, yeah, let's use that. That's easier actually. We don't have to do. Okay. I like to choose my stuff offline because I don't want to, you know, show some private stuff like names and so on. I probably did already anyways, but for the future I just want to get used to that since I'm using this PC for everything, you know. That would be a nice thing if you a system just for recording would be so great, so good. But I'm not rich. Wait a second. That was okay. So, like this one here. And yeah, this always confused. Okay, so I think we can actually stretch that. I mean, stretching stuff is not nice, but let's make it like that. Okay. Oh. Here we have some good nonsense, huh? I think depending on what resolution you choose, you will have some problems here and there. If it's too blurry or something, then I think, yeah, I think some of my art stuff is like 4K, but I don't know. Well, so, let's see. Let's see. Okay, let me choose another thing. Yeah, we're gonna use Cane. I repainted, or I painted Cane. I painted on my Let's Play channel. So we can use him. You can actually see that as a video where I well, this I did a little bit differently. I used an SD version, but I'm not so sure if I can use that. It should be okay because this is my imprinted. I repainted this guy as from a screenshot of mine. It's a different approach to do that, and it was okay as an overlay, but I'm not so sure. Now we're gonna use something different. No, let's use something different. So this guy, not that there's anything wrong with Cane, but it's, you know, it's not coming out of my imagination. So yeah, but if you want, you can check out my Let's Play channel somewhere linked, and then you see the videos. One of the last videos I made, how I created this guy in a different way for different purposes, or showing how. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, then let's see. Where is my guy again? Yeah. And this guy I like. I think he's a little bit stretched, I'm not so sure. This guy will be bigger. I mean, here we will use, oh, you know what? Let's use him here. You know, this is, genau, I mean, it's exactly in the German language. This is why it's so cool to do it that way. Here we can make a sticker look like this one here. I also wonder what happens. Could we do that? Could we hide other stuff? No. No, for that, I mean, mask should probably somehow limit your where you paint and where not. Something I need to look into that at some point. And also how you. Well, I think that I can do right now. There is a way to here, texture mask. I don't want to deal with that today. Although, should we try it once? No. Can I undo that? Yeah, let's just not deal with that today. Also, if I do that, maybe Uncube would be better. Cube to understand stuff with Uncube, it's always the best way to go. Okay, stroke. We're gonna go with, I believe, line will make sense. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, let's go closer. And then we have to. This is my old logo. My Let's Play logo. So, but I paused Let's Plays for now. So I have more time for Blender. It's a good thing. I'm also getting a little bit tired of games, not because I don't like games, it's more I'm very unhappy with the gaming industry, and I can feel it when I record. Every time when I record, I just would like to complain about the games nowadays. Not just the games, I also think when people spending money on microtransactions, I mean, at some point you also have to ask the people, guys, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? If you're old enough, if you're young enough, I don't even blame you, because you don't know it better. But if you're old enough and you know better, don't support those stuff. This is exactly every time when I come across a game topic, getting really sad about that. Anyway, maybe someday I can make my own game. And then I'm not gonna put so many microtransactions into that. I'm gonna be the new Activision asshole. No. Games should be fun. Sure, you can make money over that. You know, release a demo. Sure, this is my game. If you buy it, you're gonna get those things. It's worth buying it. Check it out. and play and have fun. But nowadays it's more like, come, you can spend, hey, the game is being hard, let's make it easier. Come, spend like €5 here and there. What the hell? What a sad development. Anyway. Yep. I think using masks would be really bad. I know I keep saying that. Good. So see? Not so bad actually. And the question is now, how do we paint the other stuff here? Like in this way? Kinda. This is not too bad. Let me activate this guy here, just in case. So. My brother likes this guy a lot. So. Those. Yeah. Early attempts. I think when I created this guy, I didn't even have access to access to Blender I had, but Blender wasn't a thing back then. I think when I did that. Okay. No, this is not too bad actually. It's not, you know, the best thing in the world, but kinda cool. But Totorono has now some, you know, some better stuff. I mean, better stuff. Something on top of it. And now we can go into the shading here and a shading with texture paint and just smear that here a little bit. I mean, there's certainly a better way to do that later on. But smearing is a really interesting way anyways, and because you can make like cool stuff. Smearing. Yeah. Okay. How do I paint that? Ah, here's a glitch going on, huh? What is going on here? This is so kaput. I wonder if I could fix it easily. Let me just see. Oh yeah, this way, but it would have influence. Yeah, I think really before you do that, you better make your object has, you know, has to be, you know, pretty good, and then you can do that. Okay, so this is not too bad. Kind of fun. Yeah. Let me just choose another one. How was that again? You're gonna go into. Where is it? Oh, what the heck? My mind is blanking again. Is this a new material? Sometimes I'm just so confused. Where is it again? Eh? Ah, because yeah. Okay, we have to go. Yeah, no. Here's it's back. So, I mean, right now we have the advantage that if we just darken the whole thing, then we have like a proper dark, right? No? That's interesting. Oh, wait a second. I see. But how could I change that so that I have like a... I mean, I can right now choose between those both. That's great. But how can I just choose between a plate? That's a question. So I have just a color, you know? We're still painting our thing, right? Yeah, this is still a... I wonder how I could do that, how I could still leave that here as a texture and just switch to a color so that I can just paint some colors on top of this without influencing that. Maybe if I just close that, no, it's still there. I'm kind of deactivating it, you know? Show texture and texture tab. Don't know. How could I? Maybe if I choose, let me just try something. Let's say I choose another layout texture. Where is texture? Huh? Ah, here, texture paint. So what? No, it still has the same things going on. Okay, anyway, I'll forget about that. Good. I mean, there's a, you know, there's always a way in Blender. Always there's a way. I think I said this like 1,000 times already. What is that? Use unified color. What the heck does that mean? Advanced. Ah, this is also maybe also an option. So I got rid of that. Now I can paint it, and then if I want to put, that might be an idea. That's also a good idea. So let's make a fire thing. With black. Now we're gonna smear that. We need more black. Where is it? Keep in mind, I never really painted. I mean, I did, but not with the intention to make something cool. So, smearing, a little bit different to GIMP. Also, I'm using. I took a look at the Krita. Or I mean, Krita is not a new thing, but I kind of gave up on Krita. But recently, Krita is a painting program. I'm using Photoshop mainly, but Photoshop seems to be not a painting program. Krita is a pure painting program, and I wasn't happy with some windows, but then I figured out that Krita you can actually use for Android. You can install an Android application for your tablet, and I have a mouse and keyboard for my tablet too. A cheap one. It's not really the, you know, like a Bluetooth mouse, a Bluetooth keyboard, and it really works well. So I think that it's worth testing Krita out a little bit better. Hey. See? Here we can, I think, use darken, color burn, or no, I think multiply is the thing. Those things are still, what the hell? Maybe like this? No. Let's get rid of that again. Oh, I see. How do I? Okay, it's just a light. So if I want to pick the color here again. it's not being the same color, but in this case it doesn't really matter. I just want to see what multiply means. We have to, okay, anyway, this color here. So multiply means every time I make it darker, the more that's good. That's very good. And GIMP I'm only using burn and lighten to create some kind of a shadow things. But with all those stuff, again, like I said, whatever you do, if you like doing it, you're gonna become a pro. If you stick to something, whatever it is, sooner or later. And you don't have to become a pro. It's also, you know, if it's fun, that's already sufficient. Always a society always like has to be something. No, it doesn't. Doesn't necessarily. This looks like caramel if you're being nice, or like what the heck is that? What am I doing here? It looks like ice cream here. Okay, this guy is still there. I wonder why he is so different. I mean, let's see the properties of the metallic. Yeah, it's so weird that it's that this is so weird, reflecting in such a weird way. Maybe it has to do with the lightning things. Yeah, that's weird. Has it to do with being flat or smooth? I wonder why this is reflecting in that way. Well, you know, it's Eve, so it's not so realistic. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I made it too black, this guy here. I think so. I think I made it too black. Anyway, look what we can do. What else we can do? Ta-da! But it is really not good because now it has the whole thing as an emission, so it kind of glows. Anyway. Sure, we can just, you know, give this a different material and then using a different texture. That would be also okay. But I really, right now I'm happy with painting the whole thing as one texture. It's just more interesting because this is probably a good idea for the future. Okay, let's do this here again. Project something on this guy here. So I've also, you know, different pictures like star, like planets and such and stuff. I see. Here we have the same thing again. Okay, let me just choose another one. Okay, the Warriors. I'm not so bad because I know he is like has no background, so he's already good, and I don't know where the other stuff is. So it's okay. We're gonna use him, make him smaller, and then I mean, we could rotate him as well, but we can just rotate a camera view. That would be even easier. Assign to yeah, here. Okay. Just paint him. I hope I paint. I don't see it right now. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Let's get off mix and then this thing here again. Oh, why the heck is he so reflecting right now? Ah, I mean, it has to do with the light. Oh yeah, okay. Now we have him. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's not the best thing, but the good thing is, you know, it's easy to do it, so that's the fun part. Okay, let me choose another thing. Okay, this is something I did not finish. I just was testing some little things here and there. So let me just, I think that might be a good thing for, because it's so weird. Could look good. Especially with the mirror modifier, just it's not so bad. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Okay. Then here. I wonder, yeah, we cannot, can we now? Yeah, this looks like flames, kinda. In this case, it's really not too bad that here the mirror modifier is on. Yeah. Yeah, Totoro, look at you. Look at you. What is that actually? Is this a different thing? Ah, crap, this is a different material. Ah, I see, this is this one here. Let's make this red or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totoro. What the heck is going on with you? The spoiler, I mean, this is the ugliest spoiler I've ever seen in my life. What the heck have I thought about that? This is just a weird spoiler. Oh, took away too much. So let's see. There's still too much. Ah, that's okay. And oh well, I guess this has to be okay for now. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, shall we look inside? Inside this car. So right now, though the Totoro is moving, it doesn't look like he's moving because nothing else is moving. So that is why it doesn't work. If you wonder why the camera is being so sensitive, that has to do with you being able to see my mouse. I set the system up so that the mouse is huge, but I have to use the Windows magnification, and this for some reason accelerates when I look around at the viewport, and it makes me a little bit crazy, to be honest, but it's okay. Oh well, that was kind of fun. It's a good way. So maybe I'm gonna make another video this week. Next week is going to be different, where we build a different car. I mean, again, that the texturing is nice, especially in this way, but it still works. And I'm not so happy with the shape of this car. Yeah, that's a cool idea, I think. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for watching. This is all for today. It's a very weird video. Like, I think this is gonna be my thing. It's always gonna be like a little bit between professional and just completely nonsense. Yeah. Okay. Good, guys. Thanks for watching. And stay safe. Have a good day. Until then, bye-bye.